Welcome, everybody. It's Thursday night. It's Thursday. Got it right today. Yesterday must have been a senior moment, or just wasn't paying attention to the date. Yesterday was my birthday, guys, and I'd like to thank everybody for wishing me my birthday. It looks like Matt says, it'll be birthday all week for me. Oh, good. Wonderful birthdays. Okay. Tonight we got video 3. This will be the assembly of the wings of my PBY. Last night on camera, I went ahead and I got the stabilizers glued in, and I also did a little filling on the seams. They've been wet sanded. They're pretty good. And so before we get started on the wings, I'm gonna go ahead and mask off all these windows on here. I got liquid mask over there, but I would have a bad results with liquid mask because these windows are inserted from inside. You put mask inside. Sometimes you start picking it out with a sharp leather blade, move the masking, it'll punch out those windows. So I'm gonna go ahead and mask them off using this masking tape. Then we're gonna move along on the wings. This could be a fast build. I can see that. There ain't much to this kit anyway, 1/48 scale, you know. Not much to it. And by Saturday, we'll be able to do some pre-shading and get it painted up. Danny sent me some wire and some parts for my half track. So I'm going to wait for that to come in before I get started on that. Yeah, can move up that tail right there. Sanding down the edge of that tail right there. Very good. Good. That's okay now. Yeah. Yeah. Good day today. It was kind of warm day. Had a warm day out here, and kind of clouded up this morning. It rained this morning, probably around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it stopped probably around 6. And all day long it was kind of overcast a little bit, but it didn't rain. And I never see such rain in my life out here in Tennessee. I guess they call this the year of the El Nino. What do they call that? And, a lot of us are getting rain this year, which we could use. As soon as that stuff gets in, we're going to get back on the half track. Right now, I'm kind of bouncing around, catch up some of my bills. I guess PBY is irresistible to me. And so I've been on since about 3 days on now. So 3 days I got this far on this thing. And when I get the wings done tonight, and the wings will be attached during the painting process. So I'm going to paint the fuselage first. Then we'll get the wing painted, and then we'll assemble the wing top of the fuselage, add the wing struts, and add the bombs on it. And pre-shading and the painting will be done separately. Like I say, the fuselage will be pre-shaded first. Get that painted, then we'll go ahead and pre-shade the whole thing and paint the fuselage first, then the wing. Add the wing struts, add the bombs, and mask down the transparency of the framework on the canopy, and also the gun blisters inside the fuselage. But before we get started on this PBY now, I'm going to go ahead and do some masking on the wings. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I got bad luck using that liquid mask I have there, because I say when you get a knife, you try to prick it out a little bit, that wind will push in, you know. And that's the only thing bad about it. Other than that, you know, masking can be a lot better, a lot more safer. The interior came out pretty good in this thing. Oh, yeah, it's another thing too, like I mentioned on the PBY flyboat back here. After the bulkhead back here, you can see back through there. But with the canopy on and be painted over, you won't be able to see that. But they should have added a radio compartment and also a navigation compartment there. That's where the navigator and the radio men sat at. That was their positions on the Catalina. And like I said, there's no shortcut that monogram left out. And I don't know if to do that just keep the price down, or they say, well, they're going to see it once you put the canopy on. So I'm leaning more towards they're going to see it once you put the canopy in place. But they should have. It can be done. You know, like I say, get your research engine out and research it. And you got it sketch build it yourself. But you get these hideous ejection pin marks inside the fuselage. You got to fill them or cut them out and sand them real well and fill them out, and add a little bit of riveting inside there. Add your cables and floorboard, your catwalk, and another bulkhead back there. A lot of work, but it can be done. Alrighty, we got we got 6 watching, 5 thumbs up on the chat board. We've got Matt from Elusive Model Design says happy birthday. And also, I'm not buying it. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, fellas. All week's my birthday. I'm having a good time. Daniel Britton says it's a nice kit. Thank you very much, Daniel. Daniel says, again, I have been wondering what kind of cigars you have been craving. Well, the kind of cigars I like them big ones. I think they call them rollies, and they cost about $2 or $3 a piece. Not very much. I like those big old long cable leg jobs. I always smoke. They're called rollies, ROLLYS. And they rollies, you got other ones out there like House of Windsor or any kind of cigar would be good for me. I've been stuck on that pipe for a long time. I'm a cigar man more than anything, and I love cigars. I think Tony Coyle sent me a box of Dutch Master cigars. Well, I went for those cigars just like that, 50 of them in there. I went 50 of them within 2 weeks. And my favorite cigars is the big old long ones. And you can get them probably about $2 or $3 a piece. So they're not that much. But I love cigars. I've been craving for them really bad, guys. I really have. You look at all my earlier videos, you always see a cigar in my mouth. It shows you how much I love those things. And Matt says, I got a new kit today. It's the 2026 release of the Revell 1/72 scale NB52. Nice kit. Is that the NB52? Is that the Strato Fortress, the B52 Strato Fortress, Matt? The B52? NB52. I know what that means for new B52. Or Dean says, hey, folks. Dennis Britton. Got it. Raleigh Stogies. Thank you, Daniel. God bless you, buddy. Thank you, dear sir. Yes, technically the B52B. On that new release, is that the same 1968 kit, or is it retooled? B25M. That has instead of having a big old long tail, it's got a short tail. Comes up like this, and comes up and down. B52HD comes way up like this. Wow. Oh, yeah, Edwards Air Force Base. Man, I've been wanting to get that kit really bad. The B-52 Super Shadow Fortress, the X-15. I watched a movie back in 1960, just before I went in the Navy. We lived in Portland, Indy, California. And being a naval dependent, we always went to the Navy, the CB base, and went to there. And we showed the card to the senators for the other side. And went to the CB matinee. We used to watch that movie. It's called, it had Mary Tyler Moore in it, Charles Bronson, and a few other fellows in there. They were Hollywood stars. It's called B-52. Showed the development of B-52 when they were flying, and also they had that F-101 Hun, F-100 Hun, the Super Sabre, doing the old Sabre dance. Blew up. That was a good movie. That was about the time at that movie came out. Revell released the X-15 satellite plane. Dad Britt said, I have two 144 scale B-52s. Their wingspans are big enough. So probably about like that, I'm saying. No, bigger than that. How about like that? I'd say maybe about 16 inches, 15, 16 inches, 144, and a wingspan of 200 feet. 144, it'd be 15 or 4 inches long. Wingspan would be. Probably about like that. Good kit. Oh, wow. And that says these new releases they come with photo etch parts and mask. A nice kit of decals too. Wow. Man, I tell you, I sure miss going to hobby shops and getting stuff like that. Oh yeah. And the chase air, Daniel said that even the chase aircraft during the X-15 tests were awesome also. And then buying it says, I saw the new B-52, it's on my list. Beautiful. Yeah, that movie, what the chase aircraft to use that movie? They weren't F-104 Starfires, they were, I think they're F-100s they used in that movie. I'm not quite sure an X-15 movie they used in the Huns. The F-100, Super Sabre. That was a good airplane. North America did a good jet. I've seen a lot of those in the Vietnam lot too. The one they really had problem with, the Air Force did, was the Lockheed F-104. They call it the man on the missile. The long fuselage, the wings came out. Wings were really short wings like that. It had either heater tanks or fuel tanks on the side. The landing gear retracted up with the fuselage, side by side. And it had a top stabilizer. They call that the Widowmaker. There's a lot of problems with that, but it was a good jet. Now Daryl Greenmeyer, he had his own personal F-104 Starfire, and they said it was a tricky airplane to fly, but it was very beautiful and fast. Yep, F-104 is Super Sabre. That's what I thought. Last night, I was working on one of my ship models I had last night. Yeah, I was working with like carriers last night. It's all kit, all bellies, all plank and frame. I think it's ready to be painted and everything. We'll start painting the other side with this whole copper hull. I'm going to start antiquing the bottom hull, weathering. That's what it is. Trying to catch up on these builds I got started. As soon as I get the stuff dinging, I'm going to go ahead and hop back on that half track. I'm loving the hell of that half track. I've heard nothing from Trumpeter or Stevens International about the solid nose in my V-25 Mitchell 132nd scale Hong Kong models. Heard nothing yet. I emailed them, and they have never emailed me back. So I'll give them another email, and if I don't get nothing from them, I'd like to get that V-25 going. You know, paint it up. I can't use those patchy decals on it. They'd like to have that solid nose. The decals made for the solid nose, the Papa Gun Special. The 8 guns, the solid nose. I got some balsa block back here. And they had to carve me a box, carve me a balsa block, put it on there, make that. That's if worse gets the worst. There's probably aftermarket parts out there for it. I don't darn well there is, but like I say, I got no funds to get that. But so to get that solid dose and that thing, I'd be able to resume back on that V25. And Elusive Model Designs, Matt says, I have not gotten anything back from Hong Kong either. That's why I'm so thankful you're helping me out with those P17 parts. Well, I'd be more than happy to help. I want to help you, buddy. So to get my stuff, get my stuff out of storage. You know, I got the whole box. Of course, that box is about like this. Not like that, about so wide. You know how big it comes in a big old box. Like that V25 bill in there. I'll just have my son-in-law wrap it up for me and mail the whole box to you. It has all those parts. It got bombs in there. It got extra decals in there and all the transparencies that go for the B17E. The B17E has got the B17E nose in half because if my memory serves me right, on the Hong Kong models B17 Flying Fortress 132nd scale, it's got a separate. It's got a separate nose. You can build it. It plugs in front of the cockpit. So they get the B17E there, and also the B17F. Mine's the F model, the Memphis Bell. As soon as I get my stuff out of there, I'll send that whole box to you, buddy. You got decals in there, bombs, mask for the B17E for your Bombardier's greenhouse that fits in the front. Turret maskings too, and also extra 50 caliber machine guns. And it's all in there, buddy. It's all there. That's very ideal, Daniel. Very ideal, buddy. You're a very, very blessed and wonderful person, and very, very, very lucky that you had all these stores and stuff around you where you live at. Nearest store I live at, it's 15 miles in all directions. And like I say, you know, I can't get out and do nothing. I'm at the mercy of God's good humor and all you wonderful fellows out there, my modeling family. And Matt says, I'm not sure why HK customer services is lacking. Again, thank you, Frankie. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. That's the way it goes. I mean, I know one thing for certain. We all know this. There ain't no such thing as quality control no more. The only company that I know that has quality control is Blue Jacket Ship Crackers, right out of the great state of Maine, Castine, Maine. And they're the only company in the world that has quality control. But everybody in there, the reason why it's quality control is because when you get something from Blue Jacket ship models, like you want to order a Liberty ship or a tanker or a 310 destroyer, whatever it is, you call in, say, I'd like to order this and that, and they get your credit card number. Okay, fine. It says, we ship to you and blah, blah, blah. And they say, well, we got an order for a 310 destroyer from Frankie Day out of Tennessee. Okay? Then they give a list right here. They give a list to the parts department. Parts department gets the list. You get the hull, put the hull in the box, wrap it up, make sure it's in the box. And they get all your lumber, all your wood. Then you can follow the list and what they give you, and you get all the fittings, put it in there, and they check it off on the list right there. Then they box it up and send it out to you. Thank you very much for your service. They throw in a catalog. That's quality control right there. And they won't jip you or short you. These other companies, they're that way. That's the way it is. It's the way it goes with these people. You gotta. I'm gonna give them another go for that nose step for that B25. If I can't get a nose step thing, I'm going to make one myself. If not, let's go ahead and do the J model and be a fictitious air patchy with the decals that Mr. Daniel gave me for. There's 3 different liveries on the decals that Daniel gave me in my B25 over there, and they're, like I said, they're all solid nose. They're all Papa Gun specials. Something will rise out of it, though. I know that. I do want to get that kick going. Boys, coffee sure is good, boys. It's really good. We'll get started with PBY in a couple minutes here. I'm really enjoying this. Just listen to you guys chat. We can talk back and forth. And Mr. Daniel Brett says, I have to say, if you want to do a B52, that X15 combo is one to go with. Oh boy, isn't it ever? That is the holy grail of the B52. If I had that kit, I'll definitely cover it with that beautiful aluminum tape that you sent me. I love to have that kit. I'll start that thing immediately. I know Monogram made one. There's 1/72nd scale. I got all Dayglow paints over there. Everything. I got Dayglow orange, and I got International Red for the high visibility colors. The X15 is all black anyway. Imagine an X15 1/72nd scale. How about that big? That big, what do you think? Yeah, man. That is a holy grail of B52s. Is a B52 X15. I would want to get one of those for years. They released it many years ago, probably 30, 40 years ago. They released it, but they didn't make it anymore. They just made it in a flying attitude, and on the box art. Man. Daniel Britt said the program was so interesting. It sure was. It sure was, Daniel. And Matt says reveal kit 03793 1/72nd scale, KB52 and X15. Wow. Man. So far, my dream list is almost completed. I got that PBY right there. To get that too, it'd be Christmas. It'd be many Christmases, many birthdays, all in one day. Get that kit. I gotta do some research, find out how much it costs, to see if I can be able to twist my daughter's arm or my son-in-law's arm and get me one of those. Yeah, we got 5 watching, 8 thumbs up. We'll have a good night for Thursday. I think I'll go back to turn the air conditioner on. We'll get started on this PBY right here and get it finished for it, get it going. Lights turn on like Titanic. Okay. Oh yeah, I used to watch Steve Canyon almost every night, and I think he flew the Delta Dart, the F-102 Delta Dart. A lot of 1950 kits. He even had an F9, F-89 Scorpion. Okay. Oh, Steve Canyon. I forget what his name is. He played a science fiction movie called Phantom Planet, 1960. And I watched that, matter of fact, last week. I like watch science fiction movies once in a while. You know, I was watching a movie called Phantom Planet, and it showed him, flying the spaceship. I looked at him. I looked at him again on the movie. I said, "That's Steve Canyon right there." Even had my brother during Christmas time. My brother Mike and brother Gary. They, um, I was in 1960. That's when Steve Canyon came out, and Steve Canyon helmets they have, the goggles, the big old white helmets that Steve Canyon on there. That was a popular series. My brother Mike and my brother Gary got one of those for Christmas one time, and we used to play all the time, man. I mean, if you do stuff like that nowadays, you think you're crazy. But you had one chair right there, like I had a chair right there in front of you, one back, and they were playing jets. Had to use a broomstick between the legs, use it as a joystick right there. And my mother said, "What are you two guys doing?" I said, "Dude, can't you see, Mom? You're playing Steve Canyon." Steve, oh, okay. Oh, you guys were telling your jet fighters. Now you got the picture, Mom. And of course, for Christmas, my dad always got me either plastic or balsa wood. And I remember back in 1954, I was about 9 years old back then. And I got a Lionel American Flyer electric train set. And I still have that. It's in my storage. But I said, you're going to like what you get for Christmas. I said, oh, wow. I like anything I get for Christmas. Well, you know me, I don't complain about nothing. He said, if I get nothing for Christmas, I don't complain. I said, I know, Frank. But you'll like this. And big old huge box. Opened it up, and there it was. Oh, wow, man. You're going to have fun with that, are you? Yes, sir. I sure will. Then we went down to the Western Auto Store. They sold plywood, bicycles, lawnmowers, garden material, all kinds of stuff. All it was is a hardware store. A lot of those old fellows remember the old Western Auto Store. We went in there, and they got me an 8-foot piece of plywood one time. And we hooked up the track to it and everything. And I had little wheels on the corner right there in my bedroom. And I could wheel it out underneath my bed. I slept on a big old bed right there. And I took the train I came up with an idea. But I played with it all the time, and I'd get tired of taking the tracks off and putting it back in again. So I made it permanently. I made an activity scene and everything. I said, Dad, I want to show you something about the train. You got me. Yep, I got tired of taking it apart all the time, so it's permanent now. Well, do what you want with it. He says, where's the train at? Right here, Dad. I pulled over the bed. I rolled it off the bed just like that. I go, dear dog. Well, that's one way of doing it. I said, now when I get done playing with the pop, push it back into the bed. It's out of the way. That was kind of a good thing I did back in that time. And Raymond says, hello to you, Raymond. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get started on this masking on this thing. Won't take too long to do that. I'm hearing thunder boomers out there, fellas. No problem. all masked up. Okay. Wing. Man, a little flash on this thing. Yeah, this screw here is expired. Yep. There. Here. Okay. These are outside for the wing float wells. Good. Good size wing. A little over 2 feet long. I think the PBY had a wingspan of about 104 feet. Yeah, from my understanding about these PPYs, a lot of the pilots include these things. It says you had to keep your things under control all the time. If you don't, they always fall on a wing. So you're constantly muscling that thing. A lot of those guys had big arms, big forearms for muscling these things. Other than that, thing was a beautiful airplane to say. Which it was. PPY was a good airplane. An airplane you had to pay attention to when you're flying it because, like you said, I can see that because it has a parasol wing. They got more height of lift, and once the plane wants to drift out like fall on a wing. So I imagine like every time somebody had to move around in an airplane, you have to change the trim tab adjustments and everything. Okay. Well, I forgot how big this thing is. Yeah, I shut the thunder out so I can hear it booming out there. Painting this thing is a lot easier if you just paint the fuselage. It don't matter what first either wing or the fuselage. Subassembly wise, get the fuselage all painted, pre-shaded, and painted first. Then move over and do the same thing with the wing. Then, not better than doing that than do the whole airplane to the entirety because it's big. A parasol wing will allow you to subassembly paint this thing. Oh, wow. I wonder how old Eric's doing on his PBY. Him and Tommy got a group though going together. And you mentioned something about everyone's participating, going in too. And of course, mine's all done. I will send some pictures in my Dumbo over there. Well, the detail of this thing is very exquisite. But it was all fabric through here. All doped and varnished, dope. My dad told me during Pearl Harbor when these things were attacked, they think, oh, boy, they burnt really fast, right to the ground. That fabric right there on it really caused it to burn that quick. My father passed away in 1998. He was 103 years old. And like I say, I bought one of these back in 1996. I first got the same kid that's working on here. And my dad, he was blind. He couldn't see what I got. We always knew about something home. He goes, "What do you got there, Frank?" "How you know I got something, Dad?" "Well, I heard a box around the door." I said, "I got me a model." "I know that. What kind?" "Yeah, it's PBY, Pop. New one. 148 scale." It's like a big kit right there. It is, Dad. It's big. He said, "Who makes that?" I said, "Mongo makes it." "Oh, yeah, they're a good company." "Take a look if you want to take a look at it." I said, "How are you going to take a look at it? You're blind, Dad." "I got eyeballs on my hands, Frank. Bring it over here." And I'll bring it over and you pick it up. You always touch it, you want like this one. "Oh, yeah, that is big. Feels like it's over 2 feet long." I said, "It is, Dad." Yeah, I work on all the time in Pearl Harbor. I was working on the Ahoy Naval Air Base. Ahoy Naval Air Base up there. In Honolulu. It says, gas came, they got this straight from Bill's Field. They came over here and got us next. And we only had about 3 PBYs left that were not flyable. The rest was just burnt down. There's a lot of fabric on there. They caught fire like crazy. Wow. Always asked my dad, "Dad, where you at there? Remember this attack?" "I was in Honolulu." "Battleship Road?" "No." I'm a Zoom pigeon. I was working on those PBYs and Coronado flying boats they had out there at Ahoy Naval Air Station. Wow. I said we weren't no great importance, so but they took us out. My father told me that knucklehead Admiral Kimmel would have used these flying boats for reconnaissance aircraft. They would have found that fleet. Pearl Harbor never would have been attacked. Never would have been attacked. Because these things got a range about 3,000 miles. At 3,000 miles, you got a hell of a range. Dad told me if he would have had a 12-hour perimeter search by being relieved, that's all you need is 2 PBYs. Every 12 hours, none will come up and relieve you. They wouldn't spot that Jap fleet. Okay, that's that. Drive with dignity. It's another good practice too, guy. I got a very bad habit of leaving stuff open like that. Always screw down your glue because this stuff evaporates real quick. It does. Okay, let's check the chat board, see what's going on. We got 6 watching, 11 thumbs up. And Raymond says, I made it. Sure did, buddy. Raymond says, Raymond, excuse me, Raymond, I'm sorry. Raymond says, I remember that kit I built years ago with a kid. My sister bought it at the Cousteau as a Cousteau. He had a neighbor and a native there was a black cat. Yeah, sister was mad. No, the letter's all masked off, so don't worry about that. But I'm going to stick tissue down here, here, keep mold spray. If the creeks don't rise, tomorrow we'll do some pre-shading and get this thing painted out. Raymond says, be nice if somebody did one at 1/32 scale. I know MPH does one. They're not worth the price. I would say so too. They're overpriced. These things are very overpriced. I imagine that model probably cost about $400 or $500 in that scale. And there is Freddie. He's with Consider Models. Hello, Freddie. Freddie says, what the Academy 1/72 scale Mariner kit's like. A good kit, Freddie. Very good kit. I built 2 of them. And let's see here. Let me show you something. This is the last one I built. Where the hell's my damn phone at? Here. I got here, Fred. I'll show it to you, buddy. I'll take a picture of it. Here. There we go. They make two of them, Freddie. They make the PBM 5A and they make the PBM 5. This is the PBM 5 with the beaching gear. Yep. That's good size, about the size of the Marlin. Wingspan 1/72 scale. Probably about that big. Good size. Yes, it's 1/72 scale. Academy makes two of them. They make the 5A, which is the landing gear, which is on the side of the fuselage and it pulls up on the side like that. And they make the PBM 5. That was a PBM 5. I saw your Fokker DR1 on the Facebook, Freddie. You did a wonderful job on it, buddy. A very beautiful job. That's the Revell one right there. I can tell. The Revell 128 scale. I say that's probably one of the best they ever made. Is a World War I trio they made. It's up with Camel, Spad, and also that Fokker DR1. And they come with figures too, as you can tell. That Fokker triplane comes with about 3-4 guys. Has Von Richthofen with a cigarette holding in his hand, standing up in regular pose. The other guys are pushing on the wing. Wow, that was a long time ago, 2014. Hell, that was about 11 years ago. Yeah, pushing the plane. You got it. And Diggy says, they say Japan never had plans to attack the U.S. mainland, but they took Alto and also Kiska, and used the planes and submarines, done nothing. And say they would have island hopped towards Alaska. Exactly, for the Aleutians. We had a fleet. Well, we knew that was the gateway to America, going through the Aleutians, all through there. And so we have a lot of control. As a matter of fact, they had Sandy Point out of Washington State, Seattle. They had a seaplane station out there. I always had flying boats that flew out there towards Aleutians. And PBYs and Mariners, and also Coronados, they were out there patrolling the area because they knew someday the Japanese could go from Slough to the very station into the Aleutians. That was the coldest country out there, very cold, Alaska. But it never arrives. Next day at Pearl Harbor, they wanted to launch these Emily flying boats to finish up what they left off in Pearl Harbor. But they scrubbed that mission out because they said, well, they're looking for us now. So I'm pretty sure it would not be successful because they're on the lookout. Of course, war's been declared. But I never did arise. want. Try that. Let it dry. Let it dry with dignity. And that's right, Dangy. Like I say, Solutions was the gateway to America. They had everything out there. We do done well. That's the only route they can come through is through there, through Solutions. And Miss Danny Britton says that's where the U.S. got their hands on the Zero. Exactly. And they found out the secret of the Japanese Zero. What the Mitsubishi engine that it had in it. That thing was the construction of it was all lighted, very light construction used. Light ribs. Ribs they weren't solid; they were just like half ribs. They come over the bottom. They had a wing spar, kind of like a Clark White airfoil, but they had metal ribs. Everything was very light. And magnesium is very light metal anyway. The only thing bad about it, it hits and it blows apart. That's why those Zeros, when they got shot down by Wildcats and Hellcats and Corsairs, they blew apart. And the lightweight metal they used in the construction was very, very lightweight construction they used. That's why they're so nimble and very good in maneuverability compared to what we had. And Dingy says that's where my great uncle went down on a submarine. The B-25, B-24s were muddy as that half track. They took off the mud and soon landed in full of mud holes. Yep, it was very good in the undercarriage, I'll tell you that. Big. That'll be done. expand. Okay, the thing dry. Okay, let it dry. Take a break here. Oh, we have Eagle 8296 with us. He's just popping in now to see what's going on. Drop my hits. Most importantly, wish Frankie a happy birthday. Salute to you, sir. Thank you very much, and God bless you, buddy. Thank you very much for popping in. We got Chuck. He's with us too. He goes, I'm late. We knew you'd be with us sooner or later, Chuck. And Mr. Daniel and Danny says uh, they're more like pirates who went on shore to have a good look around, but big handling useless. They made contact. They were the crazy ones. Danny said there was no teamwork between Army and Navy. Danny said that's supposed to be. Daniel, they were in competition with each other, and the difference is that the gear they had and the quality of it showed exactly different military outfits. The only Army Navy game that there was at the time was but during the attack of the Doolittle raid during April 18th, 1942, when those B-25s came out by the Hornet. That was definitely an Army and Navy game right there. So they pulled pretty good together then. That's about the last of it. There's a lot of rivalry between the Navy and the Army Air Force back in these days. And it says rivalry in all kinds of military establishments. And it drives me insane. Really good saying. I can stand over here now. Yes, I can. No pillar on the wing. That's a damn sure. The combat vacuum pulling kits, they made a 148 scale PBY. I never bought one of those. But I got the PBM Mariner by them. Well, I did a full interior, so that's on one of my videos I did. So we go back to the old channel, you see me building that PBM there. That was 148 scale. It was big. This thing is big. Well, it comes with 148 scale kits. They like monogram with the kingpins of them all. They made the best 148 scale kits there were. At one time, Aurora were king of the 148 scale. But they ain't with us anymore. They phased out probably by the end of the 1960s. Sanding seams down between the upper and lower wing halves. Well, that sanding does right there, it fills in its cracks, serves as a filler. Residue up there. Obviously, damn good. It's fed over the little plugs right there. Yeah. A little more here. I was watching that movie, Clint Eastwood. I think it was last week. I still played Misty for him. Man, that woman was psycho babble. I'll tell you that. Psycho woman. You lay down with a person like that, you're going to get very negative results. I had a buddy of mine one time. He was married to a psycho queen one time. The block player, his name was Jim Lacey. His wife was very pretty. And she would come out on the job site dressed up with a crop top and real head turner. He felt embarrassed. Every time she comes down here, I feel embarrassed because she's dressed like that. And one day, came back to work wearing sunglasses on. I said, God darn, Jim. A little early in the morning with sunglasses, don't you think? And says, yeah. He said, don't say anybody. You took his sunglasses and you lowered them down. His eyes are black. I said, Jesus. Where the hell did you get the punch with? White people. Are you serious? Very serious. She did think while I was sleeping. Oh my God. She's, only thing is good about the marriage is he never had any kids. So I think that makes things very difficult when you get children. I guess she has a lot of issues. What's wrong with her? One day, it was on a Friday. Payday. Where you guys going? Well, we're going down to the Camelot room, have a few beers, and we're going to go home. I go with you? Well, sure. And I'll make a few beers. And I told my wife I'll be home probably a couple hours. I make a beers. It's okay to come over late. And I got supper in the oven for you. And I said, Brenda, this will not be a habit. I guarantee you. Just one of those things. I understand. Work all day, time with the boys. I understand. Because I trust you. And you want to tag along with us, Jim. When you get home, your wife's going to kill you. She'll blacken those eyes all over again. You'll get home. Remember, it's payday. You have a fistful of money. And turns out to Jim. I said, Jim, how much money you got on you? I got my whole paycheck on. Give it to you. Why? Because you're going to spend it all. You're going to cause problems. I'll give it to you in the morning. And so, well, I got no money to drink on. Yes, you do. I'll buy you a few beers. And he gave me his money. He didn't go home that night. He took off somewhere else. I came to work. He was parked at the construction site. He stepped off of his truck. He got up. I gave him his money to him. I said, well, you got you hung on that money, right? Man, I had a hell of a time last night. I said, yeah. I said, I take it you didn't go home, did you? I said, no, boy, she'll come out to you. And boy, sure enough, she did. Well, he was on the scaffold. I was making a batch of mud. The mixer, we had a paddle mixer. And boy, she took that car and used a battering ram to hit that scaffold, knocked him off that scaffold. He was about 60 feet in the air, topping out a fireplace. Somebody called the cops on her, and I guess they threw her in jail. He ended up in the hospital. He broken ribs. Real psycho woman she was. Well, about a couple months later, you filed divorce on her, so that I can't handle this crap anymore. I said, you learned your lessons? And, yeah. Be more discriminate with who I'm going to marry. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, we got 6 watching and 14 thumbs up for tonight. It's good. It's good. It's good. Beautiful. That seems all filled nice. That's the icer boosters thing too, the icers. The water one don't have the icers on it. This one does. Do a free shading. I'm gonna go ahead and take this, lay down the black across here, and use my tape, mask up the icer boost, free shade and paint. I brought home this kit back in 1996. I always stopped by my dad's house first. And the papa says, "What color were these things?" They were navy blue gray. I thought the intermediate blue. Yes, they were. In the middle of 1942, during the time of the Battle of Midway, they started changing to intermediate blue. And by 1943, they went to tricolors. Okay, I know that. Picked up blue gray. There's a difference between blue gray and intermediate blue. Intermediate blue is darker than blue gray. Okay, so that's what it's going to be. Like very light gray in the bottom, and blue gray on top. Ahoy Naval Air Station, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Whoa. I think I'm going to watch that X-15 movie with Charles Bronson in. Yeah, that float plane. Remember talking about Japanese seaplanes yesterday? I said I think Matt said they used on Yamato, they had nothing but peaks, which is true. That was called E-13 Jake. It wasn't the other one. The other one was called Roof. That was Jap Zero floats. But the Jake was different. So they had E-13 Jakes, and they also had the Petes. That's what it was. I know I remember somewhere. Just to come off hand a while ago, I was thinking about it. Oh, coffee break right now. Make some coffee and get back on this thing. Let me get the floats on this thing next. The wing comes in 1, 2, 4, 5 pieces. When I first looked at the kit, you're not going to see this. I thought it was busted. But no, it broke. It's where the wing made. Put a piece of screw in there. Sand it down. Yeah. These boats got tie down eyes molded into the floats, so you gotta be careful when you're having these floats. Let me show you. You see right there, a little tie down on the eyes. So be careful when you trim your floats. I hear you. Okay, D says Oscar. Wow, that's a massive wing. That's what Matt says. D says, Tony, that scramble for the aircraft ideas were the best proposals, just like Germany had. Well, it's been lost. The early years of flying skill went away down. Yep. And Ding again says by 445 out of 14 F4U and P-38s had them all messed up. P-47 had made, and the P-51 were dealing with Germany. Exactly. The P-47 Thunderbolts, no jugs. They were tough airplanes. They messed up Germany a lot too. Between them and Mustangs came out, they maintained air support. And same thing with the Corsairs came out back in the South Pacific. They released the Hellcats. The Corsairs maintained air superiority all throughout the South Pacific. And the rest of the Japanese Army Air Corps, the Navy that they had, the pilots they had at the time after all the good pilots were killed, those guys were clay pigeons. Oh, wow. Ray says, I can't wait till the beginning of next year. Be building a B-24, B-17, a Lancaster at 1/32 scale. Oh, yeah. They're big. They're big. guys seen that B-24 government on you over there? It's big. Take a break here. We'll get the new coats on this thing. Let's settle and tomorrow we're gonna do some painting on this bad boy. They said nowadays at $5 just to sniff your way past the cellar bed of bread, local grocery stores. Yep. $5 nowadays has a value of what, 5, 10, 30 cents. That shows you how the dollar bill is depreciated. Pretty soon money's going to be priceless. It's going to be redundant. It's going to have no value for nothing. Just like watching that Twilight Zone. I watch that Twilight Zone. I used to like to watch the Twilight Zone. They had these bank robbers. I think there was 3 or 4 of those guys. And this one guy was a scientist. He was a prisoner. He had an animation machine. You go in habitation for about 4 or 5 years. So it was 20 years. $100 was a lot. Money was a lot. It was worth money back in those days, you know. And so they said they made the steal of the lifetime. All that money they stole from the bank, everything, thousands upon thousands of dollars. And all those guys, of course, like anybody, when you got that much money, you're overzealous enough what they want to spend it. No. We spend this now when they get choked, we'll chase us out and everything. And I said, look, I got something that we can go to sleep. It'll put us out for about 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. And we wake up and be all over with and you can spend your money. So it was no, actually it was gold. They said it wasn't money, it was gold. Big gold bars. Nowadays, gold is not worth more than money is. And I think they were out for about 10, 15 years. They went to a deep sleep from that animation machine. And they're going through the desert and stuff. And one guy goes, well, I gotta have a drink of water. A drink of water, I need one bar of gold for a sip of water. And the place they grew up tomorrow. And so the other guy died up except him, and he finally died. And pretty soon somebody found in the desert all this gold. So what's this stuff? I think it's gold. Look at it. At one time, this stuff was worth money, but it wasn't nothing more. They threw it down on the ground like it was a rock. Pretty soon, America's going to price itself out of everything. It's headed that direction. I told my baby girl, Ruthie, I said, Ruthie, people live on credit cards nowadays. They're going to price themselves out in this country out and everything. And so pretty soon, they're going to get this country to but money ain't gonna be worth nothing anymore. You can't even buy nothing with money. Because, like I said a couple of videos ago, it turns into supply, demand, and greed. You can't keep stuff on the shelf no more. It just takes lots of stuff to get here and there and stuff. People buy it. Well, I remember what Frankie Day Roosevelt said one time. Of course, he died the time I was born. I used to listen to the speeches of it back in 1933 during the Great Depression. People that had money, you get to tell the people that had money, they'll keep buying until it hurts. Well, it hurts. But you're going to be in debt the rest of your life, you know? And I got a big old card model of the Admiral Lancaster by Fly Model. I think at the beginning of the new year, I'll probably be building that one. I built one before. It's a very good kit. Very well detailed. Matter of fact, I think I won first place on it down there at the Columbus Model Show that he had. Now, that was about 20 years ago. Doggone, that was, people couldn't believe it was made out of paper. I said, man, I didn't know paper looked like that. I thought paper was just flat. I said, well, it isn't. There's 3D to it. That was a good kit. Now that short Sunday fly motor working on, that's a big boy too. Yeah, Border Model, they've got good Lancaster. They say it's better than the Hong Kong models. The day you mentioned about $5, just a snip away going to cost some bread in the grocery store. You can't buy nothing but $5 in the store no more. Maybe a jar of jelly or peanut butter, maybe. Definitely a candy bar or a soda pop. It's expensive out here in Tennessee, you know. A 12-pack of this is Kroger's. The only thing it costs that much is Kroger's. The 12-pack of soda, it is. You buy a 12-pack of Coca-Cola or Pepsi Cola, especially Family Dollars and General Dollar Store, they're $10, $12 a 12-pack. I couldn't believe that. That's here in Tennessee. In other parts of the country, I don't know. Because there's tax and everything out here in Tennessee. Tax on food, tax on products, tax on models, tax on cigars, tax on gas, tax on clothes. Everybody thought the English was bad. The English took up nothing on us. Yeah, they got nothing on us, guys. Okay. tomorrow's Friday. Man, this week's flying, boys. It's flying. You get old like me, time flies very fast. That's one reason why I get up about 3 o'clock in the morning every day. I'm up all day long. I want to get my 24 hours in. If I get tired, I take a little bit of cat nap. You get old in life, fellas. You're not that tired. You don't sleep that much. You sleep like a cat, like a tomcat. Go out there and wander and roam all day long, have a good time, get a little tired, move on a little bit. Hit the spark sack, wake up, fresh, and do it again. It's called charging your batteries. Using your traffic lights right there. Now I gotta have the express. 1970s were good years. And when monograms started bringing out all the 148 scale airplanes, like the C-47 Skytrain, the B-29, 26. Oh man, they were the models you liked back in those days. They came out in that big old massive B-29. That thing was $12 back then. Not anymore. Not anymore. Once was, ain't no more. That's why I say we don't live Earth no more. We live in planet not anymore. My biggest fault I made, I had a lot of regrets. And in Kmart, not buying all those P61 Black Widows and TVD Devastators that they had. All those comic kits that they had out. I should have bought a bunch of those. They were cheap back then. They were under $2. We can fit the floats here. You have a track if you want to, or you can have them up. I'm gonna leave mine down. Coronado and Catalina, both wingtips were retractable. The three aircraft that have retractable floats like that. Well, more than that, actually, the 222, the German flying boat, the Viking, you got the 222, Viking, they had retractable floats. The Admiral Princess, they had it too. That was retractable. Those coaches. Those worked good well by Princess flying boat I have. Okay. We got a lot done tonight. A lot done. He's good. You got that one? Let's go to it. Find group to it. There it is. There it is. Now the other carpet I had held without finding. crossmates. One position. Should have known better. Excuse me. Oh boy. Raymond says, I saved for 2 years for that kit. Money is almost trash. And Raymond says, I feel pretty good about my stash. I built around 50 kits in the last 3 years. I have boxes full. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's one thing good about having a good stash pile. I got just a little bit of a stash here, not very much. I probably got maybe, in my plastic, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 kits in my stash. And I got a bunch here I got to finish up on. I got a bunch I got to finish up on. Oh, yeah, it does. About like you are, Ray. I got so many kits around here I got to finish up on. A lot. driven aircraft even one is. That wing's got some weight to it too. I see the reflection of those dials right there too, the instrument dials. Oh yeah, it does help, buddy. It sure does. Okay. That's how they cross out these screws right there. Make room. That's those screws there. Yep. They let me drive for the night. Well, tomorrow's Friday night. Have a good night tomorrow night. Pretty good. Still checking my work. I see everything on the left off here. Things all sanded down, which is good. Okay. Okay, but I think I'll call it a video, and I did enough on this thing. I don't want to do too much on it. And save some work tomorrow. I'm not going to have a good night tomorrow night. Okay, for tonight, we've got the wing quickly built, less engines. We'll do that tomorrow night. And the coggy antennas I got to put on there too. This thing's going to be painted separately. The wings will be painted separately. The reason why is because that's where the sponson goes on there. Top of the sponson goes up the top of your fuselage. It fits in there. It makes painting up more easier. There's just like a parasol wing. And so the wing will be painted separately, pre-shaded and painted separately. So the wing over here. And the fuselage will be painted separately, pre-shaded and separately. So I got to go ahead and mask the transparencies on this thing. And prepare them for painting as well. Tomorrow night, will be Friday night, we're going to do some pre-shading and paint this whole fuselage up and decal it. Saturday night, pre-shade the wing and paint the whole entire wing. Off camera, I'll have the engines all done, ready to be painted on the wing. And when it's all painted up, just go ahead and go into the fuselage. You have the wing struts, and you got those mines you got to put on there. So that's what we did for the night. We got the wing floats on it. Now, the wing and the instructions, they don't give you an option of the wing floats, but they do fit pretty good. They close up. You decided you don't want them extended in water landing only. You can forget about your tracking struts, your braces. Just bring out your whole pontoon down and glue it to the bottom of the wing would be good. Now, the floats work on my Aurora one. They work very well. Anybody's got the Airfix kit, they work very well too. These don't work, but there's an option with wing floats. Like I said, if you decided if you want them up or down, you can do them that way. Check this fuselage for a fit here, see how these fit. Good. We can size up, fellas. Can we build this PBY? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Okay. Check the video here. What's going on? We got 5 watching, 17 thumbs up for tonight. And Dingy says, I have built almost every monogram kit but one. Looks like the kit is pretty good. Yes, it is, Dingy. It's a very good kit. And I don't know, since monogram went out of business, they got Revell and monogram mixed together. These are still available. One thing for certain, if you can't find a model shop, they're on eBay. But look around. But like I said, I'm afraid you could probably pay over $100 for something like this. Because They're getting expensive nowadays. These models are. And the things getting more expensive, like they are. A lot of people are going back to card models. Most of all, a lot of people are going to 3D. Geez, yeah, 3D machine, and the material to make the model itself. All you do is files, and there you go. That's the model of today. Modeling today is 3D, but the equipment's so expensive. I can never get the money to afford to get one of those things. Being 81 years old like I am, I don't need to. Very grateful for what I've got. Keep me going till I'm dead. If I was younger, yes, I get the 3D machine. But the one 3D kit I got that I built was that Princess 245 flying boat at Saunders Road. It was a good kit. It cost $200. One man model makes it. If you're interested in getting a Saunders Row Model 245 Princess flying boat, go see Takito. That's his name. And he's all over Japan. And we'll make you one. Comes a little box like that. I was shocked. It's a little box in the porch. It's all the way from Japan. So I said, hey, ain't no way a model with a wingspan like that's going to fit a box like that, but it does because it's all 3D. The fuselage came in 3 sections. The wings came in about 3 sections. You got the baggie of all the parts like propellers and the interior parts. I think it comes with a full interior that plane, but everything's in there. Galley, toilets in there, sleepers in there, everything. Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna call it a video night, guys. I got work to do. I want to get the some decals going on my drum and duck. Get that going so I get that thing. Get the final reveal the same final reveal every night. At the same final reveal. And I got I'm so busy working on PBY. Now I'm working on that building boats, La Carouse exploration ship over there. Working on that and got the half track going. Danny sent me some stuff for my half track, and as soon as it gets here, I'm gonna go ahead and continue back on the half track and get it done. And right now, it's coming out very good. Went back and towed down the parts with the olive drab. Yeah, it's coming up very nicely. That half track is. I got a Tiger tank coming in. I'll be working on that Tiger. I got a lot of stuff coming your way. I'm gonna check out that B-52 with X-15 and see how much that kit costs. You know, if it's a good cost, I'll ask my son-in-law and my daughter they can buy me because I sure like to build one. Wow. That'd be the holy grail of all kits to me. And I'll do everything right. I feel like I get the B-58. I'll go ahead and use that aluminum tape on it. Make it look real nice. PBY is coming nice too, guys. This is a good kit. Monogram makes a good PBY. I think I never had an MPH PBY, but I heard they're out there and it costs a lot of this. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I imagine a kit like that, anything in MPH is a bunch of money. Now, they made a Hell Diver, which was about $300-400. It was 1/32 scale, SP2C. But Infinity has got one too for less than that. And all things different, it's an injection model. That may be a short run model. I've got one of those in my section I built. I miss it very terribly. And so everything's going very well. And before we get off here, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in for tonight's video. After all, we have a nice show tomorrow night. We'll do some painting on the PBY. And hopefully, if I get enough courage enough, mojo powered up, I get a final bill from a drum and duck, and it's almost done. Just ain't much to that thing. And, so I'll probably be working on it on camera, get the decals on it stuff tonight. Shoot some pictures tomorrow. Get that B-17 with the props on that. The props are already on. I'm going to cut Snap the on. Get that out of the way. We got winter time coming up. That ship model building time. We'll probably be on the Heller Victory working on that. I'll also be working on the Flying Fish Clipper over there. IMS Titanic behind me. I've got my Intex one over here. And it's all lit up with lights on it. That thing looks good. It really does. Over 3,000 portholes I drilled out right now. Headlights. Man, my hand was sore. It was sore. It's all lit up right there. You can see lights on there. Yep. Okay, everybody. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight's show tomorrow night. We'll be painting on the PBY. And we've got a lot of stuff coming your way, though. A lot of good stuff coming your way. And so I'll be working on my drums up when I get out here. And I'd like to thank Miss Daniel Britton for supplying this kit for me to make this video possible. And he's a very wonderful human being. He's very wonderful. You're all very wonderful. And like Daniel Britton said, consider the models that I'm giving you, something giving you, it comes from everybody. So he's thinking not only for himself, but he's thinking for all you guys too. And it's okay with me. I accept that. And I'd like to thank you all for your support. You guys know the situation I'm in right now in this room. I don't get out much. I can't go to a hobby shop or do anything. I teach my mental health and up to stuff as you fellas and my models and my videos and everything else. That's all I got to live for. That's all I got left in life. And I'm accepting the fact that things have changed in my lifestyle and I live with my family. And you guys support me one hell of a deal. I mean, I would appreciate this, guys. You know how much I appreciate this stuff. I know I keep saying this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. As soon as I get my stash in, we make a visual catalog of it. Use my camcorder over there. If you guys anything you guys need, let me know. I'll send it to you for nothing. Because when my health fails, once I get mad, it says you guys are going to be inheriting my stash, everything I got. I'd rather see it go to you guys than go in the trash can somewhere. Okay, make mama happy. Take care of the little ones. Stay focused when you drive. Be aware of your surroundings. Say your prayers. Model on. And leave your home. Make sure you bring protection. Protect your family, yourself. Keep your children in sight, not out of sight, but in sight. Watch your family. Please take care of yourselves. Have good health. I see my prayers to you guys every night. And thank you very much. And good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise. I have another good birthday next year. You guys make me a good birthday this year. Mama's coming in and stuff, I mean, it means a lot to me. It really does. It really does. You guys are the best. I'm just running out of words. I love you guys. You guys are my family. Okay, model on. Say your prayers. I'll catch you tomorrow night. We'll have a good show tomorrow night. Painting on the fuselage and the PBY. That's going to be fun. We'll have a 3-4 hour night tomorrow night. And I'm only getting work on I'm going duck right now. Get that thing prepared for the final deal. Get that finished. Okay, I'm out of here. It's Frankie Day Models signing off. You guys take care of yourself. God bless everybody. Follow overseas in fair weather and keep the keel straight, even. Balance out, and you guys will be okay. Model on. This is Frankie Day Models signing off. God bless everybody. Thank you, fellas. Billy the Golden, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow, buddy. Thank you for tuning in.